Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the Broken Controller Club. As always, I'm your host Ed and I'm glad you're back. Be sure to ding that subscribe button on your way out the door. I like pointing out games that didn't get a whole lot of buzz when they came out. I already did a video on Lollipop Chainsaw because that was near and dear to me, but I've also got a ton of others I want to give the spotlight to as well. Today's game came out when I was working at not GameStop, but EB Games, or at least for a little while it was. I'm pretty sure I was there during the rebranding from Electronics Boutique to EB Games. I actually worked there when the Dreamcast came out. I say pretty sure because I have tried to kill the parts of my brain that remembered all of my years in retail. Anyways, while I was working in that great store, I got to try out a ton of games I otherwise wouldn't have paid any mind to. I spent a ton of time playing the usual suspects on the PS1, skipped a metric ton of school to play a few multiplayer titles, which, sorry to my mom in case she wasn't aware of that and she's watching this, but also got to try out some really fun games, today's game among them. So what makes Boombots so special to me? Let me show you what I consider to be one of the best intros in all of gaming that nobody knew about.
It's the year 15 billion, and alien space cats have conquered the Earth. These cruel, heartless aliens terrorize people by walking around with their tails up. An American scientist, Dr. Pick, has built a team of robots to fight the cat aliens. Built to be brave and resourceful, Boombots can endure the perils of deep space travel. Go fish.
You better not be cheating.
I don't cheat. It's Dr. Pick.
Who's the mission screen?
Raspberry.
He's got a mission for us.
So love it or hate it, the whole game is like that. I mean, not Claymation. Wrong decade for that. But the humor is totally there. So as you saw, alien cats have taken over the Earth, and it's up to the Boombots and their creator, who looks kind of like Robert Duvall, to stop them. That's it. The game's a one-on-one arena type fighter that mixes long-range combat with some melee. In between each round is a cutscene that has little to nothing to do with the story, and it's just an excuse for the animators to do some funny little cutscene, usually with lots of poop and fart jokes, which, if you haven't figured out already, are my favorite types. The combat's simple as you can see, but it does have some nuances to it that make the game a little deeper than it appears. For example, there's a risk versus reward system at play where the more of the energy orbs you collect, the stronger your attacks. Use a missile, for example, and it uses up some of your power meter. Continue to build up the meter and you can launch a powerful attack or become a Mongo Boombot, but for most of the fight you'll be at standard power. Also whiff any of these attacks and you're back at square one. You can also counterattack projectiles and volley them right back at your opponents, and then your opponent can also counter back, so it's fun to see who blinks first and gets nailed. Everybody's got different strengths or weaknesses, and they're all explained in the instruction manual, which is another thing I love. The game I bought came with the manual in mid-condition. Maybe it's just me, but I miss the paper manuals that came out with games back then. Anybody else hate tutorials and just wants to jump into the game and skim over the controls and learn it themselves? So all the characters have lots of personality in this game as well. You've got your normal robot, his name is Boomer, and there's robot dogs, girl robots, you can play as airplanes with English accents, and if you go undefeated, you can unlock other characters by beating them. The dog is my personal favorite with his jagged metal mouth and little teeth. As a side note, when Chicky Boom gets hit, I'm like 90% sure they use recycled screams from Mortal Kombat 2 or 3, and that endears me to the game even more. So if you couldn't figure it out already, I really like this game and I think it deserved better from reviewers. I look back at the reviews and it was hit pretty hard by the major gaming sites, with reviewers clutching their pearls at the poop jokes, which, let's be honest, is not surprising. 20 years later, nothing's really changed. It's too bad because everything that was considered low budget or crappy back then, I think is great as I play it in what's left of 2019, and I think other people would like it too. I feel like a re-release of this would actually do really well now, or at least better, because there's so many indie developers out there who have an appreciation for games like this. Personally, if it makes me laugh and I can have some fun playing it with friends, then that's all I need. There's a time for games like The Last of Us or Red Dead Redemption, and then there's a time for games like Boombots. They can all share the same space in this wonderful world of gaming, and that's why it's become such a huge industry. So that's yet another walk down memory lane to highlight a game from my ever-expanding vault. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Ed with the Broken Controller Club, signing off. Do you like what you see? Or did you lose a bet and have to subscribe to your most hated channel on YouTube? Do you feel sorry for me? Be sure to ding that sexy subscribe button before changing channels, as I have no shame, will take whatever I can get. Thanks again for watching.